A shamanic journey to the upper world can be a healing and informative experience. Step with us now as we take that journey. We talk about what it is and lead you on one. So, what is a journey to the upper world? From a shamanic perspective, there are three worlds. There's the middle world, the lower world, and the upper world. And they do not correspond to heaven and hell like most people think from a Christianity standpoint. The lower world is where power animals reside. It's where you can connect with Mother Earth. It's where soul parts go when they are torn away from the luminous energy field. The middle world is an energetic representation of the world that we live in. The upper world is where spirit guides, loved ones reside, teachers, angelic beings. And so from a shamanic perspective, you can journey to these three different worlds, because journeying is a core practice in shamanism. And what journeying involves is to enter an altered state of consciousness and then be able to connect and interact with spirit. When we do this journey to the upper world, it is a guided journey. I will talk you through the process. I will be rattling during the time. What the rattling does is it helps to shift your brain waves, helps you to enter that altered state of consciousness, and then it makes it easier for you to go through this journey process. As we start the journey process, we'll talk about engaging all of your senses and engaging your imagination. The more that you can engage your imagination and your senses on the front end, the more you'll be able to engage into the journey. It will seem like it's your imagination to start with, but at some point it will shift over to the actual journey itself. You need to trust the process, because what you're going to see and experience throughout there is not your imagination. It is part of that journey, that interaction with spirit. I'll be rattling for you. I will talk you through, as I mentioned earlier, it is a guided meditation. I will take you to a place where you will make a transition and begin the process to that upper world. Once you get to the upper world, you will meet somebody, something. I'm not going to define that because for everybody it's different. I will stop talking during that time and allow you to have a period of interaction with that being that you encounter up there. Once that time has passed, I will begin talking again and bring you back through the journey back into yourself. What you do on your end is, throughout the journey process, is to be relaxed and undisturbed. And what I suggest to people is, lie down, sit, meditate. Some people like to play music in the background, but I suggest if you do that, it doesn't have any words. And listen to my voice and the rattling. Once the journey is complete, I suggest that you do some journaling or note-taking to record any information that you may have received or any interaction that took place. The process can be very healing, it can be very informative and very beautiful. You're walking on a path in the woods. The path is familiar. You've been on it before. You're in the shade. You feel the coolness of the forest, the warmth of a summer breeze blowing through the leaves. The leaves are rustling. You can hear that movement. You can hear the movement of animals, birds and insects. Smell the flowers as you walk along this path. You look ahead of you and you can see where the forest ends and a meadow begins. You can see the shadow line. As you move forward and get closer and step out from the shadow into the meadow, you feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. You see the meadow grasses waving. Look around. See the landscape. What is around you? What does it look like? What does it smell like? What do you hear? And you continue to walk because you can see this path continues through the meadow. And it's familiar and comfortable. And as you walk along this path and see the landscape around you, you notice the path slopes down slightly, and at the far side of the meadow, it changes from meadow grasses to large boulders, and you can see the path looks to wind in between those. And you continue to walk with the summer sun on your skin, the warm breeze, and the flowers, and the insects, the birds, the animals, the landscape. And as you move forward, you get closer to that rock field, and you realize the path winds around the boulders, these large boulders, and you step from the meadow into the boulders, and you hear the crunch of stone and dirt under your feet as you walk amongst the boulders, as the path begins to twist and turn. You feel the coolness of the boulders around you as you walk. And you continue to walk, and you begin to hear the sound of water. And as you round one of the boulders, you notice a stream comes out of a crack in the side of the hill. And as you walk along, the stream seems to follow your path along your side. And you look up ahead, and you can see the stream continues along with the path. And you walk along with the coolness of the boulders and the summer sun. The sound of your footsteps along this path that seems familiar. As you move forward, you see the boulder field starts to dwindle, and it turns to just stone as you're walking along this path. And you look ahead and you see there's a cliff face, and the path seems to be moving towards the cliff face, with the stream running alongside of you, and the summer breeze blowing. And you walk along, comfortable. And as you move now, you can definitely see the path heads into the cliff face. There seems to be an opening. And you make your way forward, and you can see where the shadow line from the cliff face falls across your path, and you step from the sun into the shadow of the cliff face, and you make your way along this path with the stream alongside of you and the landscape around you. And as you move forward, you can see an opening becomes wider as you get closer to the cliff face, and the path and the stream head into the cliff face, and you make your way from the shadow of the cliff face into the tunnel, and you can feel the temperature change. You can hear the sounds of your footsteps in the tunnel and the stream babbling alongside of you. And there's light. You can see inside this tunnel, and you're not afraid. You continue to walk forward as the tunnel twists and turns. Somehow this seems familiar, and it's comfortable. And as you make your way deeper into the tunnel, you round a corner, and the stream disappears down a crack. And you continue to walk as the sound of that water fades away as you move. You continue to walk forward, and you get the feeling that the tunnel is going to be ending soon. When you round the corner, you can see ahead of you that the tunnel stops, and standing there is a creature looking at you. And you're not afraid. The creature nods to you as you walk forward. And as you step closer, You remember this part. It's part of the process, and you're not afraid. As you step to the creature, he nods to you, and he begins to tear you apart, but you feel no pain. And as he tears you apart, your spirit begins to rise up toward the crack in the ceiling. Your spirit moves up through that crack and heads upwards through the cliff face, through the mountain, heading up higher and higher. And it comes out on top of the mountain, and you begin to move up and up, faster and faster. And as you move up, you look down, and you can see that landscape receding below you. You see those boulders, that meadow, that forest, that stream. You continue to move up faster and faster, and the landscape begins to unfold below you, and you begin to see the curvature of the earth as you move up. And you look up above you, and you can see the blackness of space with the stars above you is starting to come into focus, and you're moving up faster and faster. And as you look down again, you see the earth receding away from you, and you look around, and all you see is stars all around you. But you're not afraid. This is comfortable. And you continue to move up and up. And you look up above you, and you can see the stars begin to fade, and all there is blackness. And you move upwards and upwards. And as you travel, you're not afraid. This is familiar. This is comfortable. You've been here before. And you look up again, and you notice it's starting to get lighter, brighter above you. And you're starting to slow down. And as you get closer, it looks like a white mist, a white fog, and there's light shining out of it. You slow down as you enter into this mist or this fog, and you feel a bit of pressure, and you push through and pop through this pressure. And you move up, and the fog disappears. And you look around you. What do you see? See the landscape all around you. And you move forward as you walk along this landscape, and you notice there's something in the distance moving towards you. And you're not afraid. And as you watch, it moves closer and closer. And you begin to see what it is. Who it is. And it's familiar and comfortable. And you step forward and greet whatever is there to meet you. And you get the sense that it's time to go. And you ask if there's any last messages that you need to hear. And you give thanks and gratitude as you say goodbye for now. And you turn and begin to make your way back. And you have this sense of calm, this sense of peace, of love that radiates with you. And as you begin to make your way back, you step into that mist again. You begin to move downwards through that mist, and you feel a slight pressure as you move through it. And you continue to move downwards now, beginning to pick up speed as you come out of the mist, and you see below you all is blackness, but the light from above is still there as you continue to move downwards, picking up speed. And as you travel downwards, you have that sense of peace, of calm, of love that stays with you as you continue down. And you look below you and you begin to see the light of the stars. And you move into that light of the stars, and they're all around you. And you marvel at their beauty as you continue to move down, feeling that sense of calm, of peace, that sense of love that travels with you. And as you continue to move down, you notice one of the stars seems to be getting larger. And you're beginning to slow down a little bit as you start to see the earth. And as you move towards it, you can begin to make out that wonderful round ball that we live in. You marvel at the beauty of it. And as you continue down, you see the curvature of the earth. And you begin to continue to slow down. You begin to see the landscape unfold below you. And you recognize that mountain, that meadow, that forest, that stream. And you slow down as you see that crack that you came out of, and you enter back into it. You make your way down through the mountain, through this crack. And you come out of the crack and step back into your body. And you turn to the creature and nod. And he nods and bows his head. And you turn and make your way back along the tunnel. That sense of peace coming with you. And as you walk through the tunnel, you begin to hear the sounds of that stream. And you round a corner in the stream, see comes out of that crack in the earth. And you continue to walk along the tunnel following the stream. And you're at ease, at peace, and relaxed. You step out from the tunnel, out into the shadow of the cliff face, and you see the path before you as it winds through the stone up to the boulder field. You continue to walk, and you step from the shadow of the cliff face into the sun and feel the warmth of the sun on you, the warm summer breeze, and you look around at the landscape. And you walk through the boulder field, twisting and turning. And as you move, the stream heads back into that crack in the earth. And you step from the boulder field back into the meadow with the summer grasses waving in the breeze, and the flowers, and the birds, the animals and the insects, and the landscape all around you. And you continue to walk, heading towards that forest. You can see the path continues along in the forest. And you step from the sun into the shadow of the forest. And you walk along that path, relaxed, comfortable, filled with that sense of peace and love. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a couple of deep breaths. Make sure everything's back. Now would be a good time to journal for any messages or information that you received. And to remember, this is a journey. This is a path that's familiar to you. You can make this journey whenever you need to, whenever you want to connect, to be with those that have moved on, to get information from teachers and guides, or to just be in that place of peace, that place of love.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. We do love to hear from you.